Jane joining us again. Great to have her back. I can't believe it's been a whole year since we talked to her, but it is, and it's a timely time to have her back on. Her book, Exposed, The Secret Life of Jodi Arias, now out in paperback, and just in time, because I believe the trial is going to resume very shortly. We're joined again by Jane Velez-Mitchell from HLN. You've seen her on TV. And Jane, like I said, I can't believe it's been a whole year since we talked to you. How you been?
It's unbelievable that this whole saga is still marching on, and Jodi Arias is up to her tricks. And she's now going to represent herself in the next phase of this trial procedure, where they're going to decide with a new jury whether she lives or dies by lethal injection. And there's a lot of indications that she's going to do what she did the last time, which is try to put the man she murdered on trial.
I saw your show last night, and that was kind of the breaking story that she's going to represent herself, and that's always been a bad idea, representing yourself, whether you like her or not.
Well, but this is an upside-down case where she's fighting for her life, so if she manages to humanize herself by representing herself, even if she comes off as pathetic and fumbling, if she can get one juror to feel sorry for her, the verdict to put her to death has to be unanimous. So it might be a smart strategy for this particular bizarre situation. We don't know yet.
Will a judge allow her to do that, or will the judge say you have to have at least a lawyer with you?
Well, no, she has the lawyer sitting there, Kirk Nurry, who is asked to get off repeatedly. He has a horrible relationship with Jodi. They don't like each other. He said that at the last trial. He said 9 days out of 10, I don't like Jodi Arias. But the judge doesn't want to let him off. And so he and Jennifer Willmott are going to be there, presumably sitting at the table. And when she doesn't understand something, which will probably be every 5 minutes or more, she gets to whisper to them, and they tell her what that means. So we'll see. It's going to be crazy. I mean, imagine the jury selection where she sits there and asks people, do you know who I am? Do you recognize my face? I'm the attorney, but I'm also the defendant. You know, she's been convicted, and we're going to have to see what happens. But so my book, Exposed, The Secret Life of Jodi Arias, is really a great primer to get up to date for the penalty phase retrial, because this is going to be a global phenomenon again. And there are so many secrets that I uncovered that were not even mentioned in the case. For example, she pretended to be a normal woman until she met Travis Alexander, a handsome motivational speaker who happened to be Mormon, and they began a torrid affair that was triple X-rated. I mean, my book, it makes 50 Shades of Grey seem like a tea party.
You describe those scenes well, Jane.
Yes, I described them in depth because, I mean, just to go through the half-hour phone sex tape that she recorded, where they both leave very satisfied, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Just that is, a big chunk of a chapter, because it's just really what they were saying to each other, and it gives a real insight. One of the reasons why this case and the book are absolutely fascinating is they say you don't know what happens behind closed doors. But in this case, we do know what was happening behind closed doors because of the phone sex tape, because of the thousands of email messages and IMs and text messages that they exchanged, where they outlined things, where they asked each other for things sexually. So there is a sense of really being able to appreciate a couple and their dilemma and their conflict in a way that we've almost never been able to do before with a couple in a high-profile trial.
Yeah, it almost surpasses, maybe not to the quite the extent, but the O.J. trial, what went on, right? I mean, just the details.
Well, they're all different and they're all horrific, and I did cover the O.J. Simpson case, and my heart goes out to the Brown and the Goldman families, and my heart goes out to the family of Travis Alexander. I mean, these people are dragged through the mud as basically the defendants seize control, essentially, and make a mockery of the judicial process. I mean, you remember with O.J. and the glove, the huge mistake of allowing him to try on the glove.
Sure.
When he had a rubber glove underneath it, and he also was dealing with a glove that had shrunk. It had shrunk because of moisture. And so, of course, it didn't fit. But then, of course, Donnie Cochran, a brilliant attorney who's no longer with us, said, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. And so this case has those similar themes that really have become part of our vocabulary almost. The fact that Jodi Arias said death would be the ultimate freedom, I want less. Well, of course, she took that back. The fact that she said sex with Travis made her feel like a used piece of toilet paper, when indeed she was the one who invited this behavior. I mean, as the prosecutor, Juan Martinez, put it, if you don't like what a guy's doing to you, why, after you break up, do you leave California and move all the way across the border to Arizona and set up shop 5 minutes from his house if you're so disgusted by what he's doing to you, and then crawl through the doggy door to get another dose of it?
I know another thing I saw today that apparently they're not going to allow cameras into this part. Is that still true?
No, not necessarily. They're going to have a hearing on the 15th to determine that. Now, Jodi Arias, prosecutor Juan Martinez says he has no objection to a 30-minute delay and then doing the video and letting it out. But Jodi Arias now claims she doesn't want the cameras. But you know what? I don't believe her. Just like I didn't believe her when she said, oh, I want death. Death would be the ultimate freedom. Just like I didn't believe her when she was lying repeatedly and pathologically, first claiming she wasn't there when Travis was killed, then claiming 2 mystery ninjas came in and killed Travis. I mean, the woman's a pathological liar. If she says something, chances are she believes the exact opposite.
How long is this expected to go, this phase? A couple of weeks, month? How long?
You know what? I've heard everything from a couple of weeks to a couple of months. I cannot tell you. The reason is we don't even know her witness list yet. She supposedly has some mystery expert witness or witnesses. Who are these people? Who in their right mind would take the stand and testify that Jodi is really a victim of domestic violence when the record is pretty clear? We all watched the trial that they were engaged in a kinky S&M relationship that she tried to make look like domestic violence, but was not domestic violence at all. It was consensual sex.
Well, not to make light of it, I mean, like you said, people died in this, but it makes for fascinating not only journalism, television as well. I know you've been covering it for more than a few years now. Do you still get more information out of this in your research, Jane, just covering this that amazes you?
When I was writing the book Exposed, which became a New York Times bestseller, in hardcover, and now it's out in paperback, and it's you can download it, you can get it at Walmart or big retail stores where they sell books. I learned things that were not in the trial. I learned that she had stalked a previous boyfriend many years earlier in almost the exact same pattern that she stalked Travis. They break up. She was hyper jealous. He couldn't take it anymore. They break up. He moves across state lines to get away from her. She crosses state lines, sets up shop in his town right near him, and proceeds to insert herself into his life to the point where my sources tell me he was considered a stalking victim and he was very afraid of her. So that was years earlier.
Well, again, like you said, it's out in paperback, Exposed, The Secret Life of Jodi Arias. We've been talking with Jane Velez-Mitchell today. You can see her every night on HLN, Headline News Network. And Jane, always great to catch up with you. I'm sure we'll do it again after this is over, and I'm sure, unfortunately, there might be another trial down the road. But you're doing great work keeping us informed. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.